And now it's time to bring in our next guest, Stuart Chamberlin, president of Chamberlin Financial, located in Boca Raton, Florida. Stuart, thanks so much for being here with us on the Income Generation.
Thank you for having me.
So are you like Jeff and myself, that you find that there's a decent number of people, whether they're really unprepared or not, they kind of feel like they're not prepared enough for retirement?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I come across people all the time that haven't taken into account all kinds of factors that can affect them negatively in retirement. When we factor in inflation, we factor in the cost of prescription drugs and healthcare and things of that nature, and an unrealistic view that they might have as far as their assets, as far as what they think they can generate with those assets versus what they'll actually need over the next 20 or 30 years.
So, Stuart, do you find that the people that you work with this year in particular are concerned about these new stock market peaks and the market's potential for crashing or going up?
Well, absolutely. I mean, when you look at where we're at right now with the S&P being up in the last 12 months, about 45% or so, actual GDP that we're expecting this next year is because of an event, because of the actual economy opening like it has, and also the fact that there's been so many trillions of dollars printed, throughout the world banks, throughout the world, and especially here in the United States, being thrown in the economy. There's not a lot of fundamentals affecting or causing the market to be where it's at. So a lot of it is not based on actual fundamentals, but it's based on the fact that there's a tremendous amount of money being printed and there's a lot of debt associated with each one of those dollars.
So yeah, I've seen a lot of people really concerned about that, and a lot of people actually coming into my office for the first time, Stuart, that are in cash and they're petrified to do anything because of the valuations being so stretched, and all of that monetary stimulus is absolutely crazy. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, there's reason to be cautious right now, right? But also, we've seen this before. We've seen times like this before. I always tell people not to panic, to stay focused on their goals and to make sure that their strategy really fits their goals. So, in the final minute here, what would you say, Stuart, is your best advice for those that are watching, that are listening to the Income Generation, that you feel like they need to have a grasp on if they're retired or within 10 years of retirement?
Well, you want to stay, focused and principled, and use, of course, a qualified advisor that knows how to, work with them as far as creating a guaranteed income stream for life. The one thing that they should do is, consider the, shifting their mindset, like we talked about before, about from being focused for so many years on accumulating and growth to focus on the income, the I. And not so much on growth like they have in the past. Now, there's so many different ways of doing that. You have, things that have guarantees of income. You have things that, different fixed income instruments that will produce true interest that they can depend on a monthly or annual.
But the first step, Stuart, is making that philosophical shift. And if it's a shift you've never made, that's why you need an income specialist, because an income specialist like yourself is in some ways a psychologist, a coach, to get them through this all so important stage of life. So thanks so much, Stuart. We appreciate your words of wisdom as usual.
Thank you.
And coming up, we'll talk more about the best last minute strategy you can use to help boost your retirement income. And we're also going to talk to a repeat Income Generation guest, income specialist Anthony Siccaro from California. I'm David Scranton. This is the Income Generation. We'll be right back.